Now it's time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints and rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crown. You ready?
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Spinning away. Throwing quickly. That's caught by Brown out wide. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Garoppolo. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Here we go. 180.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37.
Hey, gun.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. 4 yards, the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go. 180. 13.
They'll run for it with Martin. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They try again with Martin. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Now here's Mahomes. Rolling to his right. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's pulled in at the 32. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On 2nd down now, it's Martin. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Here we go. 180!
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Niners 7, Ravens nothing.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Check 55 to Mike. Exit, exit.
1, Omaha. Hey, wahoo!
55, Mike 55.
Set hunt.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
56 to Mike. 56.
Mahomes going to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Brings up 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, it's Martin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Here we go.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Garoppolo, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Black 80! 21. Here we go.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Being chased out left. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, Martin. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Take it at the 37. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Yellow.
On first down, Mahomes towards the end zone for Brown. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you. And we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. Spinning past him. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Looking deep downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he'll kick it away for the second time.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 49ers, 40.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Cook. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Mahomes now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I got you.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Here we go.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. 13 yards there and a Niner first. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Martin. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Back now here in Santa Clara. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. They run it again with Martin. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Going to throw deep for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. His second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker now to add the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Watch the safety creep. 65.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Now, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 12. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing? It's football. Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
He's going deep for Brown. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Garoppolo. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Let's take it at around the 40. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now this throw caught left side. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Ravens.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right down the middle. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Two.
To throw is Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And they're able to get this one across the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Incomplete. Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
Here we go.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Big series right here, so we got to step it up.
One final try now for Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and